You too, man. You too. I wish I can see you guys in the building at that win. Shit, man.
You got obviously Cam back, and then you've got what looks like a wide open corner job on the other side. Could you just sort of break down what that looks like and how many guys you expect to be, running for that job?
Yeah, I got about 4 or 5 guys that are practicing really hard at multiple spots. So it's just not the corner position; it's multiple spots. So those guys, some of those guys are playing corner, some of those guys are playing safety. Most of them are playing both. But they are practicing very hard. Some of the older guys like Cam Taylor-Britt, Deontay Williams, Markel Dismute has been leading the group, doing a very good job of leading the group. They're happy to be here every day, happy to help with the younger guys. And we got some younger guys like Quentin Newsom, Nadab Joseph, Braxton Clark, and those guys are pushing the note every day, getting better. A lot of them are getting healthy, like Braxton Clark and those guys, Miles Farmer. Those guys are getting healthy. They're moving around and flying around. So it's just me just being smart with those guys during the spring to make sure we have no setbacks.
With Braxton, you would have maybe had a role last year. How nice is it to have him back at full speed effort this whole season?
Yeah, Braxton definitely had a role for us last year. Could even have a starting role for us last year at some point. But it's very rewarding for me to have him back healthy and get back into the swing of things. So.
Andrew was talking on Monday about Cam kind of taking ownership of not only getting himself better, but the guys, like maybe the other guys getting them better as well.
Yep.
Do you feel like, he had DiCaprio, he had Lamar, now he's kind of that older guy in the
Yep.
position. Do you feel like he's sort of coming into his own?
He's groomed. I mean, he's groomed by the guys that were here before him. So like DiCaprio Boodle, Markel Dismute. He's been in the room with some vets, and so now he's had a chance to not just sit around when he was younger and just take it, but he had a chance to learn from him and sit right next to him. And so now he's just giving it back. So it's just that deal. That torch has been passed along. Cam is doing a good job with it. His leadership in the room, not only on the field, you see his leadership, but also in the classroom too.
What's the next step for him with this game?
I just keep climbing. I keep climbing. He's not there. But every day he works on getting there. All right. So I think by the end of this deal, by the end of his collegiate career, he'll like where he's at as a DB football player.
How much should it be just to get those? I don't think we've talked to you since the seniors made their decisions, just to get Deontay and Markel back for another year.
Hey man, it was hard getting those guys back. It was hard. Those guys, Deontay and Markel have kids. Markel has a daughter. Deontay has a son. All right, so you're talking about when real life kicks in and you become a father. It's always about the kids. All right, so me having to be sensitive to that because they have families. So, but it was hard. It was hard getting those guys back, showing those guys the picture, showing those guys what I believe is the path to help them reach the goals that they was trying to reach, and finishing up strong in the classroom for Cam. Markel and Deontay has graduated already, and they're almost done with their masters. All right, and I want Cam along with those guys. I don't want Cam to leave Nebraska thinking he has a career after football here in college, and then he don't get that degree. And so, just that's what I recruited him and told his mom and dad. So I wanted him to come back and get his degree.
You mentioned Javen, the guy who's always up there early with you, Javen, right?
Mm-hmm.
What can he get out of the spring? What's next for him now that he's healthy?
Yep, Javen is another one that's getting healthy. All right, yep, he's getting healthy. He's not there, but he's every day he's climbing. Javen is another kid that if we had him last year, would have played a lot of football. All right, so right now he's getting healthy. He is practicing. He's here. And one good note about Javen is he's like a football coach, man. He's in the office every single day. most of the day when he's not in class. So majority of those guys are like that. So, and Noah Polar Gates too. He's another one too. So Noah Polar Gates is finally pretty much about here, and you should be ready to see him play.
How do you think your defensive backs did in taking advantage of opportunities last year to get interceptions? In other words, the times that they actually had a chance to get one, how do they do? And how do you maybe get a few more per game, or maybe not per game, but a few more in the season in 2021?
Just teaching them football. Just teaching them football, and once those guys not just know their job, but the whole picture, the whole defense, that's when you can make a lot of plays, because you kind of know where the ball is going, and you have a jump on it. And just teaching those guys that. I think they made a lot of plays last year, but they could have made more. There were some balls that touched our hands we should have picked, I think, and I wasn't totally happy with that. As a coach, I want to lead the country and turn it in takeovers. And that's the goal. That's the goal. It's on paper, it's in the room, and that's the day one meeting. So about turnovers, all right, and limiting explosive plays down the field. So we want to be number one in the country at taking away, at eliminating explosive plays, all right, and that's plays, 15 yards plus. So the guys, the coacher's in the room and it's set, and the guys are buying in pretty good.
How has this process been for Miles? Suffer obviously a kind of really serious injury like he did, and then come back. What have you seen from him in his rehab and just his mental ability to bounce back from that?
Yep, just positive attitude. He's been positive the whole time. And you watched him in that Purdue game and sit on that sideline. He was hurt. Spirits was down. But he's been here every single day, rehabbing. He's been great. He haven't missed a day. Been great with rehabs. He's back running around. And just seeing Miles come a long way. First, you didn't see him at all. Maybe seen him on special teams. Then you see him in a game. You get 2 interceptions in a game. So he's been grinding. And he's still the same way. He still has that same attitude. He's still the same way. And that's what I think about some of the young guys I have in the room, like the Noah Polar Gates, the Braxton Clarks, the Quentin Newsoms, and those guys. Those guys will be the next guys, I think, that'll show up for us at some point. And make some huge plays for us.
When Braxton first got time a couple of years ago, you had said something about you were almost worried that if you put him in, he'd get picked right away. And how you handle it? How did Miles handle that? Getting 2 when he just played 1 half.
Well, he wanted 3. Yeah. He wanted 3 real bad. He got hurt, and then after the game, he got hurt. It was his game. It was his game to play more than probably the guys I had starting. Or if not the same amount of reps. So that was the plan. He knew it, and that's what bothered him the most, that he got hurt in pregame. But he's fine now. The spirits are where they need to be, and these guys are so close in the DB room. I can't be more proud of these guys or how close they are. I got about 15, 16 guys in my office during the day, every day. All right, hanging out, watching film, talking about this, talking about that, watching film. They've watched practice and maybe 3 or 4 times before it's time to watch practice. So, which is a good thing.
With the dad, he got hurt in that Purdue game too. Had he sort of worked his way into? He was playing a little bit of special teams for you. And then, what is his challenge now?
Who is that?
Nadab Joseph.
Nadab, another one. All right, he's another one. And so, like I tell you, those guys are competing. And sometimes, you think Cam Taylor, hey, they're competing for one spot. No, they're not. They're competing for both spots. You know what I'm saying? We got to make Cam Taylor better by competing against Cam Taylor. Nadab is doing a great job. He's doing a great job. He's here early in the morning, sometimes before I get here. He's here early in the morning. He's learning the defense. Worked his behind off in the winter conditioning with Coach Duval and the staff. helping himself out with that.
I know that you had an opportunity again. Look, other schools wanted you in the offseason. What played into your role to come back and recommit again to coaching here in Nebraska for another season? And what role did all those guys returning play in your decision to not go somewhere else?
I haven't reached my goal. Just haven't reached my goal. You know, I want to be the top secondary in the country here at this school. And so I think I got guys that can do it. I really do. I think I got guys that can do it. I believe in the guys that I coach. I believe in the staff and the direction that we're going as a staff, as a team, and just the secondary. You know, those kids are good football players, and I think that those guys can be some of the top guys in the country this year. So.
Travis, Coach Frost talked on Monday about putting Coach Dawson in charge of special teams. You know, you'll have a role in that somewhere, I'm sure, with all the assistants. What do you feel about the importance of that phase of the game and how your guys in the secondary can contribute to making that their phase improve here?
Yeah, and I told my guys, you know, you can probably ask one of them when you in the interview them. I told them yesterday, if they're not starting on special teams, if I got 20 guys in my room, if 20 guys are not starting on special teams, that's a letdown. All right, I don't care who it is in the room, whether you walk on, whether you're a scholarship kid, you have to start on at least one special teams to be a DB here, period. All right, or you will not play. All right, and that's just the culture, just trying to build a culture of guys and the importance of special teams, because it's the matter of a win or a W or a L. All right, and you've been watching that, and so I think we're doing a good job. Coach Dawson's doing a good job of building that culture, and the guys are buying into that culture right away. All right, and like I said, every coach has a part of that. But Coach Dawson is doing a great job of setting the culture of the room, and then I'm basically echoing that in my room by holding the guys accountable to being on special teams.
I know he's an off-field coach, but did you know Bill Bush at all before he got here? Obviously, he's from around here, and what's it like having other guys coach DBs sort of on the staff?
No, I didn't know Bill Bush. However, I did know a couple people that I kind of know from coaching that's coached with him, but I did not know him before he got here.
Travis, one more. What's your read on the wide receiver talent that you're going against in practices? I know it's early compared to even when you got here. It seems like Coach Frost is pretty high on the possibility of protecting. What's your
Well, we're getting good work every day. I mean, they're showing up, so we're getting good work every day. They're competing. They're competing like no other, so I'm happy the way that the guys can get a chance to compete against each other in practice. I try not to make it about the wide receivers and more about the ball. You know, I want that football, so I'm trying to make it not about what they do, but what we do this spring. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.